order. And so how do we do that? Setting and delivering deleting address points. So we got an example up here. When you go to set points that are not already set for you, all you're going to do is take your mouse from your computer. You're going to reach up there. You're going to click on, in this case, let's say it's the park point that's not set. You're going to click on that purple piece, and you're going to drag it down, hold the clicker down, drag it down there to that line. That's carrier's line of travel, and you're going to release it wherever it goes on that line. And now you've set that point. You'll have a green check. So this is an example of a carrier that only, all boxes are on the same side of the road because we only deliver this road one direction, drive down it one direction. So as I mentioned, mail stops and mailboxes are also in the same location, so that's why you don't see the green point here, because that green point is directly under the blue point, and I know that it's set because I see the green check up there at the top in my indicator box. But again, when those are auto-populated, all you have to do is make sure they're in the right location. If you need to move it, same thing there. You would just click on it and shift it to the left, shift it to the right, wherever it needs to be. Now, the key is you've got this blue line. That's the line of travel. So that's where our mailboxes and mail stops have to be. They need to be consistently on that blue line. But we also have these blue dots. We've got blue dots. They're outlined in white. This is what we call our blue breadcrumb cluster point. So this is where I already see the carrier stopping. So that's a good indication that is where the mailbox is located. Now, if we go to those boxes every single day, you should definitely have the blue breadcrumb cluster points. But there could be situations and scenarios where there may not be a point that is populated for you because maybe that customer only gets mail 3 days a week and not 6 days a week. So you might not have the blue breadcrumb cluster point. That's fine. You just plot the point on the line. Then you see these 4-point icons that are grayed out. That is just as a reference tool for you to indicate that is the previous address, just to help keep you on track. And then these white numbered sequence that you see on this blue line. Very, very important, guys. This is the sequence. This is the addresses of the deliveries from the edit book, sequence 1 through ever how many deliveries. These numbers have to stay in order. They have to be in order. We can't jump from 1 to 5 back to 10 and 2 to 6. They have to be consecutively in order based on the sequence. So if you see numbers that are out of order, you may need to update your edit book. All right, so again, we've got 4 points. All 4 points are equally important, okay? But the mail stop is just a tad bit more important because the mail stop is what we use to create your line of travel. So we send all this information over. The mail stop goes over to LTM to create your line of travel, and you'll see about that in just a little bit. So just keep that in the back of your mind. The mail stops are very, very important. Park points and doors won't cause your line of travel or give you issues. Book, grouping, and dismount. So we talked a lot about the red edit book, and how important it is for it to be updated. Well, we also have a digital edit book in the BPM application. And the reason that you have another edit book now, and again, it doesn't look like your red edit book, but it's got the same exact data in the same exact order as your red edit book. But we have this edit book here to allow you to make manual changes. If you're going through the mapping process and there's a change that the carrier didn't catch in the red edit book, but now catches it because we're in your BPM mapping, we give you the opportunity to update that and fix that in BPM. And the edit book is that second icon there on the left. Again, it's the BPM edit book. It's just a little square with a white pencil. So you have the ability and you have to make changes in the BPM edit book if changes need to be made. So if you realize or the carrier says, hey, that sequence is reversed, you can fix that in BPM edit book. Or if you got an address that's listed as active and it's really inactive, or vice versa, you can fix that as well. And your usage and type. Now here's the key. If you make any changes at all, even minor changes in the BPM edit book, you must also make those same changes in the red edit book. Very, very important because AMS sends the data to BPM, but we don't send it back. So it's important that if you make changes in the BPM edit book, that you make them in the red edit book and get that edit book submitted. So guess what? Next time you come into BPM, you don't have the same changes because you're going to have to do a download in the future, and you pull in that latest AMS edit book, and boom, the change is not there. So that's why you have to make the changes in both places. Very, very important. Will save you time and some headache possibly with making changes if you've already changed one. So again, when we're looking at that edit book, that first column is our address, that second column is our sequence. So that BPM sequence is what is sent to LPM to match up to the breadcrumbs to create a line of travel. If they match, you create a successful line of travel. But if they don't match, you're going to have issues. Your route's going to be rejected, and we can't create a line of travel. So if the edit book's wrong, it needs to be updated, and of course we have to make sure the carrier's driving the line of travel properly. All right, locating and selecting addresses. Just some